Hi, everyone. I'm Vone Kevitz, knit and crochet designer for One of a Kind Makers Who Dare to Be Original. Um, I haven't been on live, I feel like in a while, but it was only last week. I just took 1 week off. So 2 weeks ago, I haven't been on live. Um, I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to find me. Hopefully we get some joiners today, and if not, you'll get to hear me chat about the beautiful word of qualifiers. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It's been crazy. So, a couple of weekends ago, I announced on my live that we just got 2 Beagle puppies, Beagle twin brothers. Well, John tells me I call them twins because they came from the same litter, so they're brothers. And you know how, like, if a mother has two at the same time, they're twins, right? But they're actually a sextuplet from their original mother, but I adopted 2, so they're my twins. Okay, usually, so he's like, "You're saying it wrong." I was like, "I don't think so." If I'm with their mother, I'll say her sextuplets, but when they're with me, they're my twins. But they are dead opposites of one another. Eddie and Bobby are dead opposites of one another, but they're hysterical. If you guys want to see what cute puppies look like, if you need some cuteness in your world, go check them out on Instagram. They have their own Instagram page, and it's a good time. So we got them, and I wanted to just focus on them and love hard on them, and I had just gotten so fed up with the social media society in general because there's some crazies out there. There's some crazies out there. So I think I needed a break, and it was a great way to channel my energy into those babies. And so they're thriving. And then I had a beautiful message from Annie commenting on the puppies, but she didn't mention anything about the puppies, which I found interesting. And all she said was, "Devon, your voice matters." And the episode that I was doing was the skinny scarf with Sultana, that I purposefully wanted to keep it controversial free and everything because I wanted to just love hard on her pattern, which go check out the last episode and grab that pattern. It's her very first pattern, and we were all very proud of her doing so, and it's a great scarf pattern. So go support her and love her and get that pattern. But I wanted to keep that episode clean, and then I just kind of disappeared. It just kind of disappeared. And Annie had commented on that video saying, "Your voice matters. It's so important." And I just thought, I wasn't speaking anything controversial, but I know what she was doing. She was getting a message from the Lord saying that Devon needs a little wake me up. And I haven't spoken to Annie, so it's not like, see, this is the thing about when you're connected to Jesus, and Annie's very connected to Jesus. If you get to know her, you will know she's very connected to Jesus. And just like I try very hard to be myself. And so it was just the little tap on the shoulder that I needed from her. And it just kind of woke me back up again. And I go, oh yeah, that's right. I can't hide in Puppyville forever. There's kind of like this craziness out there. So I wrote a post a couple weeks ago. I wrote a post about this, and this message has been on my heart for a while now, probably since before I made the decision to jump into this talk about the craziness of this racism in the Native community and trying to remove the cancer and everything. And I was like, okay, I will be a social justice warrior, and I'm going to get in the fight with everybody. I'm going to, you know what I mean? I want to use my voice and talk about this topic a lot, right? And so I've had this word qualifiers a lot but I never knew how to bring it up. I never knew how to like completely express it. So one day I finally just said, the more qualifiers that you add to yourself, the more limited you become. We are headed down a scary, narrow road where instead of being the best humans, we are choosing to see color in each human. We are choosing to recognize the color of each human. We are choosing to qualify each human by the color of their skin. If I had a choice to be the best leader, would I pick best female leader, best Asian leader, or best Asian female leader? And the answer that I would choose is to be the best leader. Be careful with the qualifiers that you choose to limit yourself with. You can choose better. And I wasn't sure if that made sense. Good morning, Jamie. So glad you're joining. I think you're new here. Oh, I'm so glad you're here live. Thank you. I say think new because I tried to remember, but I don't recognize you. I'm so glad you're here. So and I wasn't sure if people were getting that, but I did get some really good positive feedbacks on that. And then that was weeks ago. And so the 2 weeks happens and I'm just kind of like oblivious. Well, I'm not oblivious. I'm well aware of everything. So the first message that I got that night after I got that message from Annie, that I can't stay in my laurels too long and stay asleep. I have to actually come back out here and engage with the humans again and not just hide in Bobby Eddie world. My first post coming back out was, God says love all humans. Oh wait, no, that wasn't it. That was not it. That was my latest one. But proud. Hold on, let me go. Jamie, thank you for the videos. I learned a lot. Oh, awesome. I'm so glad. You making dolls, Jamie? Are you talking about those videos? Or my latest videos? Proud to be colorblind was the title of my post. I have spent the past couple of weeks playing with my Beagle pups at Eddie and Bobby. That's the Instagram channel. Watching the world spiral backwards. I have watched thought leaders talk about this color and that color. One color should bow and kneel to another color. One color should pay $10 to another color. That was crazy stuff. I was even lectured for comparing my black beagle and my blonde beagle to the tricolor beagles. I have seen repeated social media posts and received multiple emails on how to treat certain colors and the privilege of other colors. I just clicked the comment by mistake. Hold on. I have been attacked for using the infamous and controversial word all, like I was the most hurtful human on walking this planet. And if I dare to admit that I am colorblind, then I must be the biggest white supremacist you will ever meet. Well, I've been called that before by Ravelry when I voted to save all babies from generational genocide, including the millions of babies from the only color allowed to matter right now. Can you guess what color they are? And that was my first post coming back out from my 2-week hiatus. And I got some good feedbacks and I've got some interesting ones. And one of them was from somebody. It's all here because, I don't delete any of my comments. I leave everything for everybody to see. Mostly because I love free speech. I love free speech. I love that First Amendment. And so I like to give everybody a voice I don't like to shut anybody's voice out, whether I agree with them or don't agree with them. I don't want to shut it out, and I like to show how people can engage kindly and cordially with one another, whether they agree or disagree. So that's just the choice I make. So you can see everything, if you want to have a good time, but just be careful. It is social media society. So there's always warnings about that. But somebody wrote, yikes, it really doesn't sound like something a colorblind person would say. And then that was a nice conversation about that. And yeah, I came out a little punchy. I came out a little punchy because it had been 2 weeks of silence. 2 weeks of silence watching my mentors and these people that I've looked up to come out and I don't know, it's just been very heartbreaking to say the least. It's been very heartbreaking and eye-opening, and when they say the truth hurts, holy cow, I saw a lot of truth out there, and it hurt me a bit. It hurt me a bit. And so then somebody had somebody had shared a video with me and talked about this one topic about this beautiful woman, person of color. She was adopted by white parents, Caucasian parents. So this is what I really do hate. I really do hate talking like this. I really hate talking about this topic, and because to me, race is not a non-issue, and so I hate engaging in this conversation like this because then I have to use their terms, and I hate it because I don't talk like that, and I don't think like that, and I it's the most uncomfortable thing for me, and I hate it. But in order for me to get my point across to talk about this topic, I have to use their terms, and I hate that. But one day I want to get to a point where I don't talk about this topic, and it becomes a non-issue for everyone, and then we don't have to use their terms, right? So a Black woman comes on and says, she's a thought leader, and I'm assuming, I don't know, and I just watched a 2-minute post. I don't know anything about her story, no background, just 2-minute video saying that she's a Black woman and she's adopted by white parents. She's married to a white husband, and she said that it hurts her when her parents said that they don't see color. The colorblind, when they don't see color. She said it hurts her because she wants her parents to see her color and to love all of her color, like love it. And it hurts her. So that the one lady messaged me and showed me that video. She's like, what do you think of this video? Like, what do you think of her reaction to see color and love all of it anyways, right? And that's when I said, on the quick, immediate reaction, I just said, that person is coming from a loving, because she said, is she coming from a loving place? And I said, yes, that person who made that video is coming from a loving place. You know what I mean? That was apparent to me. But I said, she's also coming from an insecure place. And she's like, and then we started my conversation. And these are private DMs, so this is in the private DM part. And so I said, why do you think that? I said, because her parents adopted her. They saw a human and they loved a human, and they raised a human to be an amazing human. Clearly she seems successful, and you know what I mean? She's married and thriving. So she's a full-grown human. You know what I mean? That's obviously on the right path. And she wants her parents to prove that they love all of her, especially her, or because of her race and her color, to acknowledge it. And I'm like, no, her parents loved a human, saw a human, and raised a human, and that's it. But But this lady wants to add the qualifier to herself that because I'm black, you should love all of me. I'm like, well, they already love all of her. They don't need to prove anymore, you know? And that's why I posted my last post about God says love all humans. This is my response to people who tell me to choose to see color and love anyways. Some people prefer to be seen by the color of their skin, and some are enriched by it because it adds quality to that human. You know, be proud to be Asian, be proud to be female, be proud to be all the qualifiers that make you who you are, right? They add quality, we would think. But qualifiers don't add quality, they limit you. God says, love all humans. Human beings say, let's add the qualifiers to the humans that we love. I wonder who the humans are listening to because it's not God. He says, love all humans, no qualifiers necessary. God doesn't say, love all of these humans, love all of that human, love all of this human. No, he says, love all humans. That's it. That's equality. That's true equality. You know, the fight that we fight for. But now we want to section off and we want to say, you know, but love me because I'm black. Love me because I'm white. Love me because I'm Asian. No. Why don't you just love all humans and that's it? It's not a conversation of splits. It goes back to that same question. If I had a choice to be the best leader, would I choose to be the best Asian leader, the best female leader, or the best Asian female leader? No, I would choose the best leader. I would drop all those qualifiers and I would rather just be the best leader. That's the same as that. And that's the same for that lady. I'm like, your parents saw a human, loved a human, and raised that human to be the best human that she could be. But now this human is saying, no, it's not enough. You need to take a step back and add the quality of me, my color, my skin. And it doesn't make sense to me. And I think that's where we're at right now. I feel like this is where society is at right now, where it's not good enough, where I'm defending the word all. Like I'm being so hurtful that I'm ignoring the Black people. If Black lives mattered so much, they're included in the all. But when you want to exclude the all to suit a certain life, to suit a certain color, that's where it's wrong. I've been having this engagement with this person, and I've been trying to see her point of view. And I think I got to the point where I was like, she was trying to tell me that it was a weird conversation because with my colorblind thing, I was like, she's like, she showed me a picture. It was so weird. It just got to the point where she was showing me a picture of families, Black baby and white parents, and then white parents with a bunch of other colored babies. So a big adopted family, another adopted family, and showed me all these adopted families and says, can you tell which one is adopted? Like, can you tell which one doesn't belong, basically? And like, what's not right with the picture or something, you know? Basically, can I tell that it's an adopted family? Because by the color of the family's skin tones, right? And I had to take a step back because I thought we were talking about the importance of qualifiers, and I thought we were talking about how race doesn't matter. You know, I'm trying to tell her, and then she's trying to tell me that race does matter because we should acknowledge race and then love them anyways. And I'm trying to say, no, we don't need to acknowledge race at all because we're all humans. We all have a heart and we all have a mind, and that's what makes us humans. Everything else is irrelevant. The rest of the details are irrelevant. Whether you have one arm, two arm, five arms, you're still a human. Whether you have, if you don't have a heart and you don't have a mind, you're not a human. And everything else is like, that's what makes us, all the other details, it doesn't matter what color hair color I have, what color skin color I have, what shape of my eye is, what skin tone you are, it doesn't matter, right? And I'm like, why are people so like obsessed with this superficial stuff? I don't understand it. It never works out well for the humans when we start talking about the superficial world. It never works out well. And so she's like, can you tell? And I said, wait a minute. I said, you do realize that when I say I'm colorblind, I'm not physically colorblind, right? Like when I say that I choose to see humans as humans and not by the color of their skin, it doesn't mean that I physically cannot see the color of their skin. I've actually been tested. I work at a textile mill, and I was a color specialist for that company for almost over 10 years. And so I've been to color seminars. I've know the colors of the rainbow, like how it works and the light fraction and refracting and all that stuff. What makes color? What sees color? Like my head was in a light box for so long, looking at colors. And I've been tested. And the reason why I got that job was because I have a perfect score. I see color perfectly. Not many people can say it's rare quality, and I have it. So I can see color perfectly. Every shade of red, every shade of green, every shade of blue. I said, so when I tell you I'm colorblind, I'm not physically colorblind. I'm telling you I choose to see humans as human beings and nothing else. Everything else is irrelevant. And then she's like, well, sometimes it is relevant. I said, no, it's never relevant. It's always irrelevant. The only time color, the race of somebody, the color of a human being becomes relevant is when the human chooses to make that relevant. That's the only time it becomes relevant. Otherwise, it's irrelevant. Your color is irrelevant. Who you are, what you do, how you choose, where you go, like that's what matters. The path you take, not the color of your skin. That's never relevant unless human beings choose to make it relevant. And we are walking a dangerous, dangerous path where now we want to make it relevant again. We've made it relevant before. It never works out, but now we want to make it relevant again. And we're fighting to make it relevant. So why do I stand so vehemently against Black Lives Matter? Like, why did I put out such an All Lives Matter post so caustic? They say caustic because I'm being an antagonist by this not jumping on the Black Lives Matter bandwagon. Black Lives Matter is an organization. It's an organization developed by the leaders are Marxists. She says, one of the leaders has an interview out, says, we are trained Marxists. We are trained Marxists. And she said that, so I know the organization. Well, they're like, well, you don't have to support the organization without supporting, like you could support the movement and feel and stand for that. I'm like, the organization is using the movement. That's why they created that organization. He said Black Lives Matter is a democratic organization using the race issue to fund their campaign. Anybody that donates to Black Lives Matter is donating to Biden right now. You know, the rich white dude that says, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. You know, that dude. I find it very interesting that this whole thing happened 2 weeks after this George Floyd thing happened, 2 weeks after he makes that crazy racist statement. Because we're like, how are they going to recover from that? Well, let's capitalize on something else that will suit our narrative, and let's, you know, I just found that very interesting. Satan is so good, I swear to God. On this earth, he is so good. Good at his craft. I mean, good at his craft. Not good in nature. So yeah, that's why. That's why I refuse. I refuse it. Black Lives Matter is an organization funding the Democratic Party, the same party and the same organization that's funding Planned Parenthood, the one that's killing millions and millions of Black babies, the Planned Parenthood, the company created by Margaret Sanger, who created it solely to kill the Negro population. That's her quote. I'm going to create a place where they will come and we will kill their children before they're even born. That's how much I hate them. That's her. That was her plan. That's Planned Parenthood. That was her plan. And man, she's so good at it because we are falling for it. We as a human race just fell right into her trap. And now we're obliterating that whole population. But I'm the racist because I'm fighting that organization that was created to kill that race. Am I going crazy here? Am I going crazy? Is this what it means to be a crazy Asian? Because I'm like, what? Why? I don't know. It's nuts. We are in crazy times here, people. So, yeah. I think this is why I've put off this video and this topic. Because it just ends up being about a rant. And I don't want it to come out like a rant. I don't want it to sound like a rant. I was hoping more people would engage so that we could actually talk about it. And we can stay on this topic for a while because I have a feeling this topic isn't going to go away anytime soon. I've had to unsubscribe to so many email lists that I've enjoyed the emails, but the past couple of emails have been how to be an anti-racist and how to be, how to be an anti-racist. Love all humans. That's how you be an anti-racist. But yet, those same people that are promoting to be anti-racist, they're calling me a racist because I say love all humans. Because I say all lives matter, and I'm the racist. What was funny? Here's the funny thing. Bonnie, we need more loving voices speaking out like yours. Oh, thank you, Bonnie. Thank you so much. I totally appreciate that because when when you take a stand and when you step forward and you actually try to speak truth, a lot of people will come after you, and you know what that looks like, and so I really, really appreciate comments like yours because it keeps me a little stronger. It reminds me, okay, not everybody is crazy. All lives matter, born and unborn. Exactly, Kathy. And I forgot what I was just about to say. It was a thought. Hold on, give me a split second. What was I saying? Oh, they're calling me a racist. And oh, I got a message from a random stranger who does not follow me, who found my post about being colorblind. And people are like, oh my God, to choose to be colorblind, like that's horrible. Like to choose to be blind about anything is horrible. I'm like, to choose to see human beings as human beings is horrible. You know what I mean? Like, that's actually what I should comment. I let that comment go. I'm actually going to go back and respond to that comment. There's a lot of comments that I do let go because I can't jump on every single comment. I would end up in the loony bin if I went so deep into their crazy loony world of, don't be a racist, but only be my kind of racist. And if you're not a racist, then you are the anti-racist. Like, or no, you need to be an anti-racist and not be a racist. Can you follow their crazy? So I had to unsubscribe to email lists as well. Yeah, I do too. I think honestly that's what I was like really contending with last week. I think that's where my depression was coming from, was the fact that I was watching all my thought leaders, that I was people that were encouraging to me and motivating to me, were like just all taking a nosedive into crazy, and they were all landed and crashed, and now I'm kind of like mourning their loss. I think that honestly is what really the past, and that's why I've been loving so hard on the puppies and say, you know what, I'm over this world. I'm over these humans right now. I'm just gonna stay in dogland. Um, I think that's what I was mourning. But so this lady, from her profile picture, she looks Caucasian, um, and she basically says I say looks because I'm not physically colorblind. I want to state that very clearly. I'm not physically colorblind. I just choose to see humans as humans. And she said, if you are so for all lives matter does not matter until Black Lives Matter. And if you are unsure, you need to talk to Black people more, engaged. And she was a little bit more eloquent than the way I'm making her sound to be. She was a lot more eloquent than the way I'm making her sound to be. And then basically I just responded back. I said, the All Lives Matter post that I was sharing, that she was referring to, was from a Black lady. And I said, and I have lost about 20 subscribers, lifelong, like since I've been on, I say lifelong, since my social media life, since I opened my Instagram, since I opened my Facebook, since I opened my Facebook group, since I've been on the internet. Because before that, remember, I used to call my brother and ask him to Google stuff for me. I was not on the internet. And then like 5 years ago, I became on the internet, right? Since then, these people have followed me from the beginning. I've lost 20 followers just on that one post alone, that All Lives Matter post alone. And they were all white. So the All Lives Matter post that I was sharing, that she was telling me that was so offensive, I was sharing from a Black woman. And then the 20 unsubscribed people that have no longer have known me for 5 years have said, no, I'm done with her because she says all lives matter and not Black Lives Matter. Those people were all white, 20 of them. It was definitely in the double digits. Could be 25, could be 30, I don't know. It was definitely in the double digits. All white. So who do I need to talk to be relevant? Who do I need to talk to have myself make sense? According to that lady's life. She didn't respond back, by the way. I gave her that response and she never responded back. I'm guessing they're moving on, because that's how social media society works. They just kind of like hop in, they like pounce, and then they take off. They don't care what you say. Another conversation was she was Another one was, trying to tell me how important it is to add the qualifier of your race to you, who you are, because you it's important to see color and love that color. We need to see it and love it. I'm like, why don't I just love human beings and not see color? Because that's where the problem becomes. There's when you add the qualifier to it, you limit yourself, right? So you're arguing with me to not love all humans, but see the color, love the female, love the talent, love the skill. Don't just love the human. Love the all the qualities that we add to them. But when we do that, we're human beings. We're fickle creatures. We're sinful natures. We're sinful in nature. And when we don't listen to God that says love all humans, and we start adding the qualifiers into it, that other dude is in your head, because now you leave room for error, you leave room for judgment, you leave room for comparison, and you leave room for division, and you leave room for separation. And that's what Satan wants in this world. He's here to kill, steal, cheat, and lie. And he does it by division and separating. When he separates the humans into these little classes of whatever, then we fight amongst ourselves, and we forget why we're on this earth is to love God and love his children. So very true. I feel like we've taken a giant step backwards. Oh, we're taking a huge step backwards. A huge step backwards. We're taking the mother load of all steps backward right now. And I think that's why I was grateful, because as soon as Annie tapped me on my shoulder and said, we need your voice out there on that video, in the comment, that woke me right up and go, oh, that's right. This is why God created me. And this is why he made me look this way. This is why he made the things in my heart feel this way. This is why the purpose. I'm here. I'm put on this earth to help creatives create and to beat that battle with Satan, because we're all creators. And when we don't create because we get distracted, then we're not doing what we're created to do. We're not doing our purpose. We're not adding the beauty and the genius that we are supposed to be, our best versions are supposed to be doing. And this race thing is a distraction. It's just another distraction. And so I'm here to address it. And yeah, we are taking a giant step backwards, because now people that are funding Planned Parenthood, the ones that are murdering the millions of unborn lives, they're the ones controlling this new movement, and they're winning. They want division. They want separation. They want us to see color. And I'm getting crucified for choosing to be colorblind, for choosing to see a human being as a human being. They're like, no, you need to see every color. Why do I have to see every color? What does that matter? What does it matter? Because when I do, that's where the separation and the division happens. I said to that one lady, I was like, when you're talking, like because she wanted me to say, she wanted me to look at the picture and say, black baby, white parents, something doesn't belong. She's like, no, I didn't say that. I just want you to see the black baby and love him anyways. I'm like, I don't need to see that baby is black to know that I love her. I don't need to, the mother and the father didn't need to see that baby being black to know that they loved her. They saw a human and they loved her. They saw a human and they raised her and they gave her a good life. They didn't need to see her color. And I said, when you look at me, do you see Asian? Your, your voice, your true voice of reasoning. You are a true voice of reason. I love how you speak. I am not as gifted in that area, and I pray so hard for this scales to be removed from the enemy's eyes. Yeah, big time. I pray the same. I pray the same. I said, when you look at me, do you see Asian? Do you always say Asian? Do you always say Asian Vone? Is Vone always like Asian? Because that's where we're at right now. We want like navies, black navies. That's what we want, right? That's my BFF, navies. I've never looked at her and said black navies. Just like I asked her, I'm like, and then I don't look at my husband who's like white John. Do I say white John? In my head I go, white. No, I say I don't think that way. I look at John and I see John. I look at navies and I see navies. And when you look at me, I want you to get to the point where you just see Vone. But if you're seeing Asian Vone all the time, does that help me or hurt me? Is that beneficial to me? So she's like, you can't change who you are. I'm like, I'm not asking you to change. I'm not changing. I'm not ignoring. I'm just choosing not to make it relevant. You can make that same choice. Human beings can make that same choice. That's what God says to do. Love all humans. Everything else is irrelevant. He didn't say love this kind of human. They didn't say love that kind of human. No, he said love all. Love all humans. Humans are the ones adding the qualifiers of what color we are. To say it's important to love this color. Humans are adding that quality, and we're doing that right now. We're adding that qualifier. And when I say when we do that, we are heading down a path. We're heading down a path that never ends well. Because when we start looking at humans and separating them by the color of their skin, we don't make good choices. Because separation is division. And when there's separation and division, there's not unity. You're no longer united. You're no longer united. And then they're fighting on me like, no, you need to unite with us. I am. I actually am. I'm saying all lives matter. Trust me. If you're smart, all the BLMs people, if you're smart, you will know that all lives matter actually is way better than the little narrow section of what your organization is all about or the movement is all about. Because when you actually include all, imagine the strength in numbers of what all is to a certain color. White lives matter, black lives matter, yellow lives matter, blue lives matter. Who has a bigger encompass? Those four colors or the all color? What's more united? The separate colors or the all color? We want to talk about rainbows so much, the colors of the rainbow. Is Roy more powerful than Roy G. Biv? It's nuts. Oh, so the one lady said, this is a creepy world that we're in. This is a creepy world. She used the word creepy, and I was like, oh my God, that's exactly the word. That is exactly the word that I feel. She just hit it on the head. Creepy. That's what this world, I feel like, is heading for me. This is such a creepy territory for me. That's what I feel creeped out. I feel creeped out by this whole thing. This whole movement, I feel this whole race talk, this whole division, this whole thing. It's creepy to me. This is Satan's like manipulative creepiness. Good morning. You were so right. Thank you, Bobby. You know, and I was like, once she said that word creepy, I was like, that's why I feel so like, yeah, that's why I feel creeped out. I feel creeped out. Half these conversations I'm having, I feel like, I'm like, why do I have to defend the word all? That if I have to defend the word all, it's creepy. You know, if you're telling me that I need to see a certain color and love them anyway, that's creepy to me. That gives me a weird feeling. I'm like, no, I just want to see a human and love a human. Period. I just want to see a human and love a human. So yeah, I did want to make a point in this live that I'm not physically colorblind. I didn't think I needed to have that conversation, but clearly I did. Clearly I did. I didn't think anybody would read that post and say, "Oh, you so you don't see color? Well, that's great for you." I'm like, no, I choose to see a human as a human being, and that's it. I don't choose to make anything else relevant. But if you want to, it's not going to help you. I mean, I can't change people. I can't change, if you will always see me as Asian Bone, I can't change that about you. But I would hope that one day you can just take those goggles off and just get to a point where it's so much more freeing when you just see a human and love a human. It really is. But maybe that's why God made me this color, so that I can be the middle ground. But I'll have you know that I'm actually done engaging with that person, because up to this point I've been engaged with her because I thought that I thought that I could help her see where I was coming from. I thought that I could help open her eyes and just to take the race goggles out and remove it, because when you have that, when you wear the race goggle, you're not seeing the whole picture and you're only looking through a certain lens, and that can distort. So I'm just trying to get everybody to remove their race goggles. And so I'm pretty much at this point done with engaging with that person, because she is so set on wearing those race goggles. And I don't have time to deal with people who are set on wearing the race goggles. I think I'm just going to spend my energy moving forward on the people that isn't sure about their race goggles, that isn't sure how they like looking through life in the eyes of watching the color of people's skin. I'm only going to focus on those people and the people who already hate wearing those race goggles. That's it. Because the people who are already not wearing it, they're getting pressured to wear them. We're getting pressured to wear them right now. And we need to stay strong and not wear them. We need to stay strong and refuse those race goggles. Like, refuse them, because they're not good. God says love all humans. Don't put those goggles on. No qualifiers necessary. And then the ones that are taking them off and going back on because they're not sure if it's helping or hurting, they're the ones I'm going to talk to. They're the ones I'm going to focus on, And then the ones that love their race goggles so much, they just put it on a pedestal and it's like their armor. I'm going to give them to God. I'm going to give them to God, because he's the one with the power that can change their hearts. He's the one with the power that can change their hearts and open their eyes. He's the one that can do all that. So I'm going to give them to him. And I'm just going to focus on the others. Does that make? All lives matter is equalizing. Black lives is openly black supremacist. Fits right into the race war goals of our current democratic Marxist leadership. Exactly, Gail. Exactly. That's the most eloquent statement said. You get the winning ticket on this one. Exactly. It is the most equalizer. And yet this is how great Satan is working right now. That's why I'm like, this is how he's winning, is because he's actually like, I'm actually having to defend all. I'm like, how is all the most inclusive word in the English language not the most equalizing? Like, how blinded are we? And that's the race goggles. That's the race goggles talking. You know what I mean? That's the race goggles talking. I'm like, just like Black Lives Matter is not good, just like White Lives Matter is not good. Yellow Lives Matter is not good. It's unequalizing. Oh, and to finish off, that one lady was saying that she actually just she's like, well, there's one time race can be like an issue, is what if you're going to a party and or like a makeover party and you don't have the right makeup for the person, that then your skin color becomes relevant. I'm like, like, are we having this conversation? So by me trying to tell you that being colorblind, because I choose to see humans as humans and not to see the color of their skin. And I'm telling you, it's never relevant unless a human being makes your race irrelevant. Your one comment to me is the one time race becomes relevant is when we put makeup on and we have the right foundation shade. Yeah, this is why I don't wear makeup, guys. This is why I don't wear makeup. Because is it that complex? Is race that complex that's the one time we need to make color relevant is to put our makeup on? I guess that's the one time human beings have the right to, put color first, is when you're putting foundation on. That's probably a smart thing to do. But let's really think about that too, because I can even go all in on that conversation. I didn't on the internet, but I can go all in right here. What is makeup? What is makeup on your face? But something to cover. Something to cover. Cover what? Cover a flaw, right? Why else would we cover? We cover flaws. Well, who deemed it flaw? Who decided that your skin was flawed, that you needed to cover it up? So there. That's more race goggle talking. Humans add the qualifiers. God says you don't need it. Humans add qualifiers because they think they're adding quality, but all it's doing is limiting you, because the qualifier of flawless skin just limits you, because now you've got to take time to cover it up. Just think about it. Oh, you guys, I'm so glad I came on live. I really didn't want to. It was so easy to just slip into another Saturday morning where I just hung out and cuddled with the babies and just and got along with my day, and not have to come on and put my race goggles on to talk about this topic, because I hate talking. I hate talking like this. I hate wearing my race goggles and talking about black people and white people and yellow people and brown people and purple people. Like, I hate it. I hate it. It's dizzying. It's dizzying. I'd rather not wear them. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I would love to get on live more, but like I said, these babies, they take all of me, and because our schedule is run on their energy, we gotta run them out, and then we gotta potty train them, and then we throw them in their crate. But their crate is a huge condo, so don't don't come at me, PETA. All right, guys, have a great week. Be careful out there. Be careful out there in social media society. And I will talk to you next week. All right. God bless. Bye. Oh, be sure to subscribe to this channel if you hate qualifiers, and be sure to like this video if any of it makes sense to you. And be sure to like this video and share it if you hate race goggles and you refuse to wear them. Be sure to do that. All right. God bless, guys. Bye.